everybody, Wootini from GayGamer.net here with another weekly video podcast, and this week it is all about New York Comic Con 2012. It was a zoo. But, I mean, that's what happens when you put 100 and some odd thousand people into a convention center that's already full of booths and tables and other thingies. It gets crowded. That's why I like Thursday, because Thursday is the extra day when they let in the pros and the press and those people who wanted to shell out extra for a 4-day pass instead of a 3-day pass. Although I have a friend who told me, I don't know what the actual prices of them are, but somebody said they were, the difference between a 3-day pass and a 4-day pass wasn't worth it to them, and they were like, I'll just go Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's no reason to go on Thursday because that's too much money. But I can go on Thursday with my press pass, and I can do my shopping when there's room to breathe. Also, I can get t-shirts in my size, because it's the first day, so they have plenty of stock. Except for this one, because this was the smallest Domo t-shirt that they had, so I had to settle because I wasn't not getting this. But I spent way too much money on t-shirts. I also bought some superhero underwear and sleepy pants. And I also bought comics, because it is a Comic-Con. Although I don't buy, I don't go looking for specific comics. I do love old romance comics, but the problem is that if I go looking in bins of romance comics, they're going to cost like $10 to $20 a piece, because, you know, they're rare and they can gouge people for them. But what I like to do is go through the bargain bins, and there was an entire booth set up with just, I don't even know how many boxes, and I don't even want to think about how many boxes, because I did go through every single one of them, both on the table and below the table. So, I mean, I'm guessing like 50 boxes of comics, I don't know, 40, 50 boxes, that I went through, and they didn't even have a sign for their booth. It was just a piece of paper that said comics $1. There's a few of those on the back of the booth. And it was just bins of comics, some bagged, some not, and they were $1 a piece. And that's where I like to go and buy like old horror comics, Marvel monster comics. Sometimes you can find a good romance comic in there. There was another booth that had $2 comics, and I went through those a couple times too. But that's it. Like, everybody else charged too much, and all I want is a fun read for $1, you know? And I like the old comics. They're much better than the today comics. Well, not all of today's comics, but the superhero stuff, I guess, mostly. Anyway, Comic-Con is not just about comics. No, in fact, Comic-Con is now maybe 30% comics, because the movies and the TV and the video games have taken over. And in fact, when you walk onto the show floor, you're kind of assaulted by video games first. Like, right at the entrance, it's like, oh look, it's Capcom, and Namco Bandai, and Square Enix, and Nintendo, and oh, there's Marvel down there. Oh, and there's DC back there. And it just seemed weird to me, like, why wouldn't you put your big comic companies up front? But whatever. So I played some games. I finally got my hands on Tomb Raider. The demo was a little too short. You can read my impressions about that on the site. I already posted that one. But I do have articles coming with impressions on Hitman Absolution. I also played DMC Devil May Cry with the excruciatingly new Hot Dante. Sorry, the old guy didn't really do it for me. This one, yummy. I also played Sony Smash Brothers, which, I'm sorry, that's what I'm calling it. And I played the new Marvel MMO by one of the creators of Diablo, which is basically Diablo with the Marvel cast of characters. It's isometric, top-down, you're clicking on the enemies to fight them, and gather and collect all the loot you can, and it's fantastic. And it's even better, it's free. A free MMO, free to download, free to play. So that's pretty awesome. Got an article coming on that. There's articles coming on all of this. This is going to be a big week on GayGamer.net here, because in addition to all of my Comic-Con coverage, I have a review of Dance Central 3, which I have been playing, and it is awesome, and I love the story mode, because the story mode is hilarious. Because they tried to have a story in the second one, and it was kind of silly, but this time they just basically said, yeah, story mode in a dance game, it's really silly. So we're going to make it really, really silly. So it's pretty awesome. And I like that there's like some real, genuine, real-life choreography, and now I can do the electric slide. I already knew the Macarena, thank you. Don't need to do it again. And also, I am prepping my review of Art Academy on the 3DS. I'm just finishing up a free paint, because I like to do the lessons and then show that I've learned at least a little something, except that my free paint painting is not actually that good, but it might just have to be good enough for my review. So, it's going to be a big week on the site. There's a lot coming. I've got impressions on the games that I played at Comic-Con. I've got a couple of reviews coming. There's the usual updates. And then, of course, it wouldn't be complete without the cosplay galleries, which, again, I have, like, over 100 pictures. I think I have close to 150 pictures of people in their costumes, and I'll have to split that up into 2 galleries, but you guys will love it. There are some really amazing costumes. There's a great Weeping Angel. There's an amazing, amazing Aquaman that I couldn't even believe, like with the plate scale mail shirt that's like shiny metal yellow. It's so good. There's also an unbelievable Samara and Garrus from Mass Effect, like with professional grade makeup. Like they had to be professionals because it was just amazing. But I think my favorite costume was Power Man and Iron Fist when they stopped by the Geeks Out booth. I was hanging out with my friends at the Geeks Out booth, and if you haven't been to geeksout.org, you probably should check them out too, because they're awesome. It's a great community for gay geeks. And I was hanging out at the booth with my friends at Geeks Out, and Power Man and Iron Fist stopped by, and they were adorable, and they were holding hands, and they were just so cute! I always thought Power Man and Iron Fist would make a cute couple. So, make sure that you keep tuning into gaygamer.net every day, and checking all the updates, and I will see you back here next week, where hopefully I will be a little better rested, and not hopped up on sugar, like I am now, because that was a hell of an exhausting weekend, and I did not think to take Monday off, because I'm an idiot. I needed a day of rest, and there was no day of rest, because it's Comic-Con! See you next week. Bye.